If you are just joining us, the program is This Morning on ITV. And like I said earlier on, that we have so many issues to talk about today, ranging from national issues. We're going to be touching on entertainment and a host of other issues this morning. I'm here on set with my very co-presenter to look where to be.
Charity.
Good morning.
A wonderful morning to you. Okay. And waking up to say we just been informed of number one citizen of Jeopardy.
Yes.
Probably a step in the right direction.
Well, let's introduce our guest.
Okay.
Yes, and we have a famous, today we're blessed to have a famous Nollywood actor with us, sitting right here with us, Vincent Okurom. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Good morning and you're welcome. We're going to be talking about the business of Nollywood. There's so much going on about Nollywood. But first of all, I would like you to make a comment on the President broadcast.
Well, like it is, his comment was quite impressive. At least for a very long time, the citizens has been expecting our president to address the situation. But so far so good. For the currency, he has made some good statements that is quite acceptable to the society, and we're expecting more. Yes.
Expecting more. Everybody is expecting more. Now let's talk about Nollywood business. How lucrative is Nollywood business?
Well, first and foremost, it's quite difficult for a lot of people pronouncing my surname. Oporom.
Okay, Oporom.
Yes, a lot of people have that. Yes, they get confused about that surname. My name is Vincent Oporom.
Vincent Oporom.
Exactly, and it stands favor me because I don't need to go through that those hurdles. But let's go into the main topic.
Right.
So now, Nollywood industry is quite lucrative. Very, very lucrative, and as it stands, it is more outstanding, and that is the only sector working in our system today, in quote, for the youths. And if you notice, a lot of youths are really coming into it, but fortunately, a lot of people don't know the wherewithal as it stands in the industry. We have made mistakes, including me. Excuse me. But we learn from our mistakes. And by experience, it is very, very lucrative. The major phenomenon in Nollywood is first and foremost good planning. Strategize. Knowing where your target audience is, then you work towards it. Nigeria is so big, and the world is looking up to Africa, especially Nigeria. And Nigeria is the focus. We are the giant of Africa in terms of creativity. That I know. And a lot of our sisters and brothers in other parts of Africa are learning from us. Now, talk about how lucrative it is. We have the number, we have the market. We have the story, we have culture. And when you're making a movie, there are different facets of life that you need to touch. And when you're doing that, you go straight to the point. Now, there are urban, there are market women, the ordinary citizens, and their elites. They're diverse people and faces in our society, and it accommodates all. All you need to do is just have your targets. Now, when it comes to the business aspect, let me take an instance: the big screen. When you invest money, good money, you tend to get your money back. But when you try to manage your money resources, manage logistics, it's going to tell on the screen. Take a look at the Hollywood. When they are shooting, even when they're shooting low budget films, you hardly know it. And there's always a difference between low budget films and films that are normal, that's well budgeted, high budgeted. You can see it. You can see the props. You can see the logistics. You can tell. Now, people a lot of movie practitioners, especially the investors, they tend to look more on actors. Actors matters too. They attract their fans to buy the movie, or to make fans know that okay, something is about to happen, something big. But some of them believes more on actors, believing that the actors will do magic. No matter how good an actor is, if the money is not well placed or the logistics are not in place, he can do more than what he can do. He could only speak or portray his own creativity, but the logistics and other things will tell. I have come over time, I have tested the waters all round in terms of big screen, in terms of low budget films. In fact, I have come to realize a lot that a lot of producers tends to mess up actors when you try to help them to grow, especially when it comes to low budget film. Yes, the young shall grow, but they fail to understand that putting things right, good planning connotes good product. In as much as you have a budget, make sure you plan towards your budget, not on the day of shoot. That is when you're putting your logistics together. And let me tell you, the things you neglect now, by the time you start the movie, you find out that you pay triple because you neglected that particular department. Take for instance, the property. They call them propsmen. When you fail to plan along with the propsman, making sure that you supervise the things that ought to be on your set, believing that he can do better, maybe because he's an experienced props man, and probably he has been giving you signs that look, this budget is not enough for this. Can we cut down on certainties so that you can manage your productions? And you tend to neglect it. And on the day of the production, you find out that those props or properties you'll be expecting, you won't find them. By so doing, you're playing some pranks, and let me be frank with you, your fans are more better in as actors than you.
Yeah, because they see all.
Because they see all. They see all the flaws. They can actually tell you, oh, this guy is good, but why is he in this kind of movie?
And that means it should definitely affect your market value.
It will affect the market value. Most times it affects the value of the actor. And that is why these days a lot of us, including me, I have repented. I have stopped finding myself and involving myself in low budget films, because I need to know who you are. Sometimes, let me tell you, sometimes we the actors, we like to know, we like to have a cordial relationship, having known that okay, you've done something good before. Now I'm comfortable to work with you. Sometimes we tell our managers, look, I don't want any kind of producers. Because some producers will tell you, oh, everything is fine, oh, it's fine. What about this? It's fine. What about the camera? Oh, when you get there, you are so disappointed.
And that brings me back to this major issue that's been at the front burner for like 2 or 3 days right now. It has to do with one of the movie actresses who came out to talk about the fact that some actresses all of a sudden within a year in the movie industry, they are building houses, they are buying cars and stuff like that. That she has been in the movie industry for so long. There is nothing like that. There is no way you can come into the movie industry within 1 year and acquire houses, cars and stuff like that. Do you agree with that? And how true is that statement?
Well, I quite understood her point, and the fact remains that when it comes to actors are, a lot of us are business entrepreneurs. A lot of us have something doing before we came into acting, and that is why I always tell most of the greenhounds or the people coming into the industry, don't believe that as soon as you enter, you'll be getting your funds immediately. Even the investors, give them time. But the factual point is that when you produce a good movie, it becomes like a drug business, because the money keep coming even when you least expect it. But don't expect it immediately. Now, the point she tried to make there was, a lot of actors use the Nollywood as an edge, as a platform to their illicit transactions and legal transactions. It is good that when you step out as a celebrity, people tend to look up to you. Anything you do is good. But have it at the back of your mind that it's either you are sanitizing the society positively or negatively. It depends on the angle where you're coming from. Now, some people don't know the ethics of a celebrity. They see it as a platform to indulge into dubious activities on the undertone. A lot of them do a lot of things, fast cash, just to attain wealth. And these are the areas we have to look into, especially the guilds. It's not meant because you have the funds or because you have some backups and you just came in and you want to be the lead actor when you obviously know that you're not too good creatively. And that alone messes up the industry to some extent. It is very good. Everybody is welcomed. You're welcoming because by the time you have your funds, it helps in alleviating poverty. There are people that doesn't have what to do, and you could be their only hope to feed. It's also good, but not going to that extent of using that platform as an illicit transaction. It is not acceptable.
Okay, let's talk about. I know in time past, because I watch Nollywood movies a lot. I am one of them. I'm very fine. I know that in time past, you watch a Nollywood movie, when you get the end credits, you see producer, the same name, director, one name, scriptwriter, the same name, as in even the lead actor sometimes, the same name. So, but can we say there's an improvement from there? And the talk there was that Nollywood does not want to invest. People don't want to invest in script writers and other things. So somebody will just sit down, maybe just watch one foreign movie and begin to script, and everything is all about the person. So has there been an improvement, a shift from there?
Well, what is driving the industry is personal investors. You don't need the government to come and give you money before you produce. You have to source for your funds, then you come in and do your movie thing just as according to your budget and all that, and you might have a focus or reason for that. Now, this thing is all about passion, and that is why you see movies at the end of the day, you don't see your gains, you don't see your profits. It is rare and it's very, very impossible to produce a movie, being the producer, being the director, being the lead actor. This is a professional entity.
But you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. It is totally wrong. It is not acceptable. And I know that the guilds are working towards that aspect. But sometimes you can't control that, because you can't be everywhere. Somebody could be in his community doing the same thing, and tomorrow you sit on the screen. It is not. We need more hands. We need to improve on our technologies so that excuse me. We need to improve on our technologies, by involving medias like you, because these are the areas because information is the key. We work by information. By the time somebody, one riffraff in quote, start producing a movie in his community, messing up actors, and at the same time doing all manner of nonsense, all in the name of Nollywood, when they bring those things out, you find out that it is nothing to write home about. But where are they airing them? Is through medias like you. So when you decide to make a decision that you have your standards, such people will not involve in such a thing, because by the time you bring out a movie that is not well decorated or well produced, you tend to reject that. Now talk about the Facebook and the other media access, YouTubes and all that. These are areas where they throw their rubbish, and you see that most times even the fans don't accept it. They don't buy attention towards that. So, but we're trying to manage that aspect of it. But as I speak to you, we are working towards it. I know that the guilds are working towards it, because they are also complaining about such. It messes the business itself. It doesn't represent us well, and it helps the piracy to operate effectively, and it's not too correct.
Okay, now let's talk about some movies, because the channels of really disseminating movies has increased over the years. Now we talk about Netflix, we talk about the Prime Videos and stuff like that.
Sure,
and recently we have seen some actors, let me put it that way, investing so much. Recently we talked about Shantytown and some couple of movies, and it has also the medium of distribution. How will you describe it? Has it improved over the years? Because now we can talk about movies in America and so many places. Would you say the level of distribution has improved, and the opportunity, the platform provided by Netflix has also increased the pulse of the movie actors?
It is improving, but where we are really getting scared is that it shouldn't be monopolized, because you should understand that the Americans will come down to Africa to do our job. They will need people like us to represent them. And when people like us representing them, they tend to pick few that these are the made people. These are the A, these are the B, these are the C. And these are where you start monopolizing it. Our prayer is that Netflix has come to stay. Nollywood has come to stay. It is quite lucrative, no doubt. But we, the black race, don't mess it up by monopolizing it, that these are the sectors, these are the people that should be in it. It is meant for everybody, even the greenhounds. It shouldn't be meant for certain class of people. No, we are the problems of ourselves.
So it's likely that's what is happening right now.
That is what we are beginning to see.
Okay.
As in terms of the lucrative part of it, it is lucrative, but it's beginning to be monopolized. That there's certain people. Do you understand? For everybody.
It's being capitalized.
I am not saying it's getting. If it's not controlled, if it's not controlled, it will get to that point.
When the monopoly becomes too
yes, you find out that is it just this kind of people that you see there? Why is this person in class?
Because of their performance.
Yes, their performance goes a long way.
Okay, like you just talked about Shantytown.
Yes.
So some scenes that ordinarily some persons may not want to do that.
Now, let me tell you something. Let me come there right now. You remember when I said that I have stopped involving myself in any kind of movies?
Yes.
Now, it is left for me to stop finding myself in movies that doesn't worth it.
Yeah.
By the grace of God, of course, I know my craft. I know my onions. I've been in it for years. I've been in it since 1999, and I'm still moving. I know, and as young as I look, I thank God for the kind of personality has given to me.
Are you about to tell us your age?
I know I'm your senior brother. Far senior. So, like I said, it is left for every individual to decide the kind of movie they'll find themselves. Now I have decided to build up my management. You want to get to me? Get through my manager. I'm working towards that right now. And at the same time, even if they try to cut corners to come along with me and to meet me up, I must know the kind of cameras, the kind of actors you come in with. I will search through your name. Do you really worth directing me? Do I really want to be in your production? Is your production going to help my values, or is it going to devalue me? These are the things I should look out to. Now that is why I'm saying that it is a pari passu thing. I am working on myself, making sure that I find myself in the right movies. These are the things that will help me to the bigger screen, even to Hollywood. Because years back, if you search through my interviews in the past, even before I became a celebrity, by the grace of God, I had said this, that my dream is to be in Hollywood. And how do you want to be in Hollywood? Look at Hollywood coming close to us right now. And that is how the dream of Hollywood will definitely come to pass. But I need to work on myself, not necessarily the creativity aspect of it, because I'm building on that every day. But I'm talking about the kind of productions I find myself in it. That is where I should work on. But nevertheless, shouldn't mean that Once you know that you're good for this, don't monopolize it that this is not my person. This is my person. You know, all stuff like don't bring cartel in it. Into it.
Before if I have a movie now, before I can get out of it, you always think about who are my friends, who are the people that I want to have in this event. There's this kind of disenfranchisement that begins to happen, and if you are not careful, at the end of the day, you lead to the detriment of the movie industry. And that brings me to this particular issue. I was talking with a young movie producer some weeks back, and she told me about the challenges being faced by young filmmakers, especially the laws, the policy being introduced does not help young filmmakers to produce the kind of film that can be airworthy or can be able to. You talked about the low budget stuff, but the opportunities open to young filmmakers. It's also quite difficult for them to have the kind of movie that we are talking about. How do you overcome this? We talked about the policy of government. Is it really friendly to young movie producers and movie makers?
The policy in the government does not affect creativity.
I'll hold your thought there. We'll take a short break. One more time, we'll continue. Stay with us.
All right.